Faithful, what's going on? It's Victory Monday. And why, may you ask? Well, let's just say the 49ers continue to move on up. They're climbing. 6th seed, here they are. Can they get higher? We're going to discuss it right here on the Wayne Breezy Show. Get y'all takes ready. Shout out to the Breezy Bunch crew and smash that like button. What's going on, 49er faithful? It's your boy Wayne Breezy, and welcome to the Wayne Breezy Show. Monday. You know what? One thing I've been is consistent with these Monday episodes. It's the beginning of the week. I got all the energy in the world, and then I get depleted at some point throughout the week. But listen, it's good to be here. Shout out to the Breezy Bunch crew. You guys are out there. More ear horns in the building. Niners had a bye week. Week 14 is almost in the books. We got one more game left. You got the Eagles, who are probably going to lose tonight, which is great, even though they'll still remain the 3 seed because they'll still be the winners currently leading the NFC East, but their record won't look as good as the Niners, baby. 9-4 is where we are. We got Tennessee Titans coming into town in week 15. So we'll be previewing that stuff this week on the channel and getting to some of the nitty gritty stuff when it comes to how we going to beat these Titans that look like they're looking scrappy. They look really good last week. Then they beat the Browns, like, right? I mean, I know it's the Browns. We beat the Browns, but still, I did not expect them to beat the Browns. I don't think you expected them to beat the Browns, and they fought to the very last second. Right? They fought to the very last second. I mean, Tony Pollard had like a career day. Dude ain't had a career day since he played for the Cowboys. It was weird watching that game, but it is what it is. Let's give some shout outs, man. Guys, make sure you smash that like button. First and foremost, if this is your first time, like just watching this show, tuning into the channel, YouTube is doing their job, man, click on that subscribe button, man. You don't want to miss out on any of the episodes that we have 49ers related or NFL related, because we still got the Fantasy Football Show live and kicking, which will be back this Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. But make sure you subscribe to the channel. It's very important that you subscribe to the channel. And if you're in the live chat, get your comments on. And again, I got to give my shout out to the Breezy Bunch crew. Don't forget to check out our partners over at residency.com. Use that promo code right there. Boom, SF Breezy, and you can save on your total purchase. Now, look, they got a crazy 50% off sale right now. Take advantage of it. The holidays are around the corner. All right, is it 17 days till Christmas? Oh my, listen, 'tis the season to be jolly. Also, the exclusive content is over on the Patreon. Go to www.patreon.com. You can check out all the exclusive videos, all the exclusive shows that you can only get on Patreon. That's like my HBO Max. So if you want the Max stuff, go to the Patreon, check it out. Let me know what you guys think. Let's do some early show shout outs. Let's get it popping. Niner faithful in the building. I see you. Jack Knox first in the building. Ear horns. Hello, Wayne and faithful. Hope everyone has enjoyed this week off. We are back. 13-4, love it. 13-4, sounding really good. And I'm looking at the way things are shaping up for the Niners. You know, Titans, Colts, then NFC. We're gonna have 2 more NFC games. I can't wait to break it down. I have notes today. I can't wait to break it down. Like, this is gonna be really fun. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I love that. 13-4 will be the ending. With the current time is 12:55. You're in China. Well, hey, China's in the building. What's going on? I'm going to try to stay up. Have a great show. Thank you so much for tuning in all the way from China. I like that. Don't bother me with the hashtag BB, Niner Faithful hashtag as well. What's up, Breezy in the chat? Hope everyone had a relaxing bye week. Too bad the Rams and the Seahawks didn't lose, but we'll take moving up to 6 after not having to do anything as well. Victory Monday, man. That I got a round of applause. You know what we need to be thanking? We need to be thanking the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers did that. Boats in the building. What's going on, Boats, man? It's good to see you. Jerome in the house. What it do, Niner family? Let's finish strong. That's what it's all about, right? 49er Jeff, back to business. Yes, sir. You already know what time it is. Brandy in the building. Good afternoon, Breezy and the faithful Nigel. Shout out to Nigel. He gets extra love. He just gifted a membership. So if you are a member because of Nigel, please show our moderator some love. All right, give him some love. I'm giving him love. What up, everyone? Victory Monday. We won even on our bye week. Doesn't that sound great? Like, we won even on our bye week. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we won, but we didn't even play. I love it. Ty Tanner in the building. What's good, Niner fan? What's going on, Ty? Shout out to everybody on the Facebook, on the X platform, as well as Twitch. Thank y'all for tuning in. You know what I'm saying? Definitely appreciate you guys. I see you out there, Drew. Appreciate you being joined in on Facebook faithfully. You know what I'm saying? Sonia in the building as well, man. Appreciate you, Sonia. Brock Purdy's toe. Hey, Breezy. Felt good for our guys to get a week's rest. Yeah. Now, I can't wait till we talk about who potentially may return. Will we get some Brandon Ayuk? Will Gross Matos return? Like, they got some guys on the IR that could potentially be back at the right time. I mean, it's literally 4 weeks. It'd be perfect time to get some of these players back. I know the Brandon Ayuk situation might be a stretch or whatnot, but it is what it is, right? You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I really do feel like the Niners, and just looking at the remaining schedule, I mean, it just seems like 13-4, my season prediction, is going to come. Now, the Niners have to do several things in order to make that 13-4 situation happen. And it doesn't help that their toughest game on the schedule is against the Seattle Seahawks, right? It doesn't help, right? That last game. And this is a game. Remember I said at the beginning of the season that the Seahawks and Niners, that rivalry game, remember I said the NFL got that set up to whichever one of those teams win that game will end up with the higher seed, and it may end up winning for the division. I'm going to break down the Seahawks and the Rams schedule, and I think the Rams have a much difficult path to finishing in first place. That's just my thoughts. You can let me know what you guys think, and you guys can definitely chime in. Ready to go, Empire in the building. Mr. Ty Austin in the building. The champ is here. What's going on, baby? What's going on, fam? Good to see you, man. Good to see you, man. How cool was it to watch the Chiefs lose to the Texans? That Texans defense is scary. I mean, they are in sync, right? Like that Texans defense, super in sync. E-Bell! 1618, happy holidays, Breezy, to you and your family. Happy holidays, bro. Same to you and yours. Tanisha, what's going on, sis? Good morning, Breezy Punch. It's full speed ahead for the Niners. Can't nobody stop us. Here's the thing, right? I think I may be look, as much as I want the Niners to be the number one seed, no, I don't know. Call me cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, right? But I would be happy if the Niners did finish number one and they finished 5th or 6th or even 7th. I would. Why? I don't know, man. Something about the San Francisco 49ers playing on the road. They're 6-2 on the road too, by the way. And I just feel like on the road, they play their best brand of football. They run the ball better. They throw the ball better. They're more efficient, and they got more wins. Like I don't know if we should overlook any of that. But my eyes, that's what I get. I mean, I get a better feeling when they play on the road. I feel like the Niners show up on the road. I mean, yeah, they got 2 losses, but they got 6 wins. I just feel like they show up on the road. Maybe, like I said, man, you can call me cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and all that good stuff, but, you know, that's where I'm getting. Beverly, I'm excited for the next 4 games over on Facebook. Yes, Miss Leslie in the building. Hi, everyone. Ready for Niners football this week. Get ready for the Titans. No one's worried about the Titans. I'm not worried, but I don't want to take the game lightly. How about that? That's a fair statement, right? I'm not worried. Not worried. Niners, here's the difference between the Titans and the Browns versus the Titans versus the 49ers. The difference is the quarterback. So I can tell you right now that even though the Titans have a great defense, let's keep it a buck, they have one of the top defenses in the league. I've watched Brock Purdy play against the Browns, and I watched what he helped do to the Browns. I feel like he could do the same thing. Shedeur Sanders was a rookie. He still threw for over 360-something plus yards. Unfortunate. And I thought they should have won the game, but their coach did some dumbass trick play on a 2-point conversion that just made 0 sense. Like, why are you throwing the ball with Quinshon Judkins? Like, I have questions. So I thought that, I mean, why not just let the quarterback do it? I mean, he got you the touchdown. That's just me. But anyway, not my team. Don't really care. It is what it is. You know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm cool with it. You know, all I know is that the Titans are stupid and they lost the first pick in the draft from beating the team. Now the Raiders, I believe, have the first pick in the draft. So, like, And I guess a win is better than, the first pick in the draft, I guess, Maybe it is what it is. But says, I'm concerned. How about that? I want them to lock in and play solid football, mistake-free football. That's one of my keys that I have in my notes, right? So I have 3 things that I think gives the Niners the best chance. And I'm going to go through the 3 things, and you guys can let me know what you think. But I have 3 things, right? And one of that is playing kind of mistake-free football. And I know it's going to be a little bit harder than what we expect because let's keep it a buck, guys. We're still young, right? We're still growing. There's still growing pains. Let's just hope that the veterans can help overcompensate for some of the mistakes. But where we're most young is defensively. But what I like is the schedule for the defense. I like that they're playing a rookie quarterback in Cam Ward. They're going to be playing a rookie quarterback versus the Indianapolis Colts. Because the news alert is, oh my goodness. And when I was watching this game live, and when I saw Danny Dimes take that snap and then do the bunny hop on the one leg, the single bunny hop, I was like, oh, that Achilles is gone. Because it was the way he buckled and fell after the bunny hop. So that was the pop, right? So it was like step back, pop, oh, snap, like boom. He's done. He's done for the season. So they don't even have their quarterback. So here's the thing, like the Niners have to rely on stopping the run. So their main thing you take away the run, you put who's their backup quarterback? Riley Leonard from Notre Dame. I can't remember who their backup quarterback is. But at the end of the day, that's who you're going to be facing. And so Monday Night Football sounds pretty good for the Niners, right? On the road, right? It just sounds good. Got to stop JT though. And as of lately, JT hasn't been as explosive on the ground. I don't know what that is. So we'll see what happens. I'm sure DeForest Buckner will be back for Monday Night Football, guys. So expect the Colts defense to return to almost their physical nature, what they normally do. Just expect the up front to be a little different. If Buckner doesn't return, better for the Niners. But so those are your first 2 games. And then it's the Bears. It's like which version of the Bears are you going to get, right? And so the Bears are going to come out. They're going to be explosive. You're going to be dealing with a dual threat running back system. Caleb Williams can extend plays, especially to the right. I don't know if people are picking up on that scouting report, but Caleb Williams loves to extend plays to the right. I don't know if he's not ambidextrous, but to the right is where he's efficient. I mean, I watched him make a throw. I watched an extended play last night. I was like, that was kind of dope. Like, he should have been dead to rights. He stepped to the right. He stepped to the right again. And his receiver got open on the Packers, and it was a nice catch. Matter of fact, I believe that receiver was his 2nd catch of the season. So you don't care who he throwing the ball to. I expect Roman Dunze to be back in 3 weeks, though. So expect him to be back and ready to go, which will be somebody we got to stop. But that's 3 weeks from now, and we end the season with the Seahawks. And we already know who the Seahawks are. Like, we know their identity. We know they're young. We know their defense. We know the Seahawks, right? And they're going to be looking for revenge. It's rivalry game uniform, all that good stuff. I don't know. I don't know. Niner Faithful, with a question to start off the show. You think Sauce will be back? Here's the thing, right? I want all of them. I'm the type of person that if you're healthy, play the game because it makes the victory that much more sweeter, right? It makes it that much more. It makes it more better, in my opinion. I don't know if he'll be back, but if they get Sauce and they get DeForest Buckner, up front and Sauce on the back end back, give it to me, baby. Like, give it to me. Give it to me because I expect all kinds of shifts and motions. I don't think Sauce is the lateral guy. I think Sauce is the vertical guy, and I don't think Ward is a lateral guy. I think Ward is more of a vertical guy, and so I think you can take advantage of moving wide receivers and forcing your corners to cover tight ends and running back and things like that. I'm actually looking forward to that Monday night game, Niner Faithful 80-80. Like, I really am. I'm really looking forward to that game because I really think that that's what you're going to get from that Colts game. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're going to get. And I'm sure they wish they were playing against Nick Bosa and Fred Warner. But every team wants the best, and if he's available, give us your best. You know what I mean? Give us your best. That's what I'm getting. Howdy, 49er. I agree with you, man. If you can keep Caleb in the pocket. And I like that we're talking about these next matchups, right? We all are picking out different pieces to kind of like solve, right? Like different problems to solve, right? Like, so Caleb Williams, that's where it starts, right? Keep him in the pocket. The question is, can the Niners defense contain to make sure he doesn't get outside to the right? I mean, to the left, he might be more inaccurate. To the right, he's hella accurate. All right. So today's topic, today's question, we're going to focus on. I mean, it's not much Niner news we could talk about, but as far as that, the question is how high can we climb in the NFC playoffs? And I think it's a fair question. I think, sitting at the 6th seed, we got helped by the Green Bay Packers. The Chicago Bears lost the number 1 seed. The Packers moved to the 2nd seed. And then you have the Rams at the 1 seed. And who's right before us is the Seattle Seahawks at the 5th seed. So the Niners have a little bit of flexibility if they focus on their games left in, you know what I'm saying, on the remaining schedule. So Rams at 10-3. You got the Packers 9-3-1. You got the Eagles 8-4. They're the 3 seed. And you got the Bucs 7-6 as of right now as the 4th seed. That can change where the Bucs end up out. The Panthers end up in. I don't know. The South is weird. Those are your two teams. Two teams that are competing in the NFC South. So as far as the NFC West, it's difficult because you got 3 teams competing for 1 spot. Literally. And all the 3 teams are super close. And for the San Francisco 49ers, for those that don't know this about the Niners, the San Francisco 49ers are 8-2 in the NFC. So let's talk about what that means. I don't know. I felt like I swallowed something the wrong way. Pause. I don't have no water. So you got the 8-2. Ladies and gents, I just want to say that is the best conference record as of right now. The 49ers, 8-2, are number 1 in the NFC. I know they're the 6th seed, but that's seeding purpose. It's because the Rams are good, and it's because the Seahawks are good. But 8-2, that is damn good. They're 8-2 in the conference. They have the best conference record right in front of the Green Bay Packers. And then, so your top, I'll give you the top 4 conference record teams, right? So you got the Niners 8-2. You got the Packers at 7-2-1. You got the Philadelphia Eagles at 7-3. So if the Eagles win tonight, they'll be 2nd in front of the Packers. And then the Bears 6-3, Seahawks 6-3, the Panthers 5-3, the Rams 5-3. The Rams beat up on the teams not in the conference. That's pretty much how they got there. So I just wanted to give you some of that. As the 6th seed, they're currently first as far as conference wins at 8-2 for the Niners. And then we know that they're 3-1 in the NFC West. So when it comes down to the kit and caboodle of everything, let's just say we end up in front, we tied with those 2 teams that I'm talking about, the Seahawks and the Rams. Well, the Niners would win in a tie with the Rams because they'll have the higher conference record. And then if they sweep the Seahawks, they'll win in front of the Seahawks because not only do they have the highest conference record, they'll have the highest division record. So the Niners really do they really seriously control their destiny. We talked about this weeks ago, probably like a month ago, about them controlling their destiny. I think it was Mike and I on the BAM show, and we kind of talked about it. I'm like, hell yeah, they definitely do. They gotta win out, right? I had them losing a game possibly in Cleveland, right? So don't let this Titans game be that Cleveland game. You know what I'm saying? Because you still want your overall record to be great because the better overall record is kind of like what matters the most. But if you end up in a tie, things can shift a little bit for the San Francisco 49ers. So how high can they climb? Well, they can climb all the way to the 1st seed. And I just gave you those 2 scenarios. Win out, finish in a tie, and they own the tiebreakers for conference record, right? Because the Niners have 2 games left in the NFC. They have the Bears and they have the Seahawks. Looking at the Seahawks, though, the Seahawks have 3 games left in the whole NFC. They got the Colts first, right? Then they got the Rams, the Panthers, and the Niners. The thing I like about that Panthers game for the Seahawks is that the Panthers are scrapping to get into the playoffs, right? They're in the hunt, kind of like outside looking in. They're in that hunt. So for the Panthers, they're going to look to play the Seahawks probably hard, probably tough, because they're looking to bump up in front of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs losing to the Saints was a mother freaking alarm. Like, I didn't see. If you saw that happening, you are a genius. I didn't see that coming. None whatsoever. Did not see that coming. So, what that is, it is what it is. Peachy, what's going on? Happiest of Mondays, Breezy and everyone. Shout out to Peachy, Miss Peachy Brown out there. I just didn't see that necessarily like happening. I thought the Bucs were going to be dominant, and they lost. So if Ibuka catches that pass when he's wide open, he doesn't drop that pass, it's a touchdown. So yeah. But at the end of the day, that's what makes that game interesting, which is great for the Niners because we want them to lose the next 4 games, right? We want the Seahawks to lose the next 4 games. The question is, which one of these teams are going to help? And I think the game we all have circled is the Rams versus the Seahawks, right? The Rams versus the Seahawks is the game that we all have circled because one of those 2 teams has to lose, which means if the Niners continue to control their destiny, if they win, if they beat the Titans, and then they beat the Colts that same week, and the Rams or the Seahawks lose, the Niners move up either to the 1st seed or the 5th seed. Like, think about what's about to happen. Like, this is great talk. Again, I don't know if I want the Niners to be that number 1 seed. I don't think I want them playing at home unless it's the Super Bowl. Like, I'm be honest. I want them to be road warriors until they get to the bowl. And I think even in the bowl, I think they would be the road warriors. I think the NFC is the road team this year. I don't know. I have to look that up. But it's going to be a wild ride, guys. It's going to be a wild ride. That's all I can say. It's going to be a wild ride. So I'm here for it. Now, Seahawks, Colts, Rams, Panthers, Niners. And then looking at the Rams, well, guess what? They got the Lions next. Woo! Then they got the Seahawks. Woo! Then they got the Falcons. And then they got the Cardinals. Right? Now, there's a possibility because the Lions, no one's talking about the Lions. Big Daddy Niners, what's going on, fam? What's going on, baby? Jack says we gonna win out. All right. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Chiefs guy, what's going on, fam? This might not be the year for y'all. Now, I want to point this out that I be thinking y'all going to win every week. I think that the Ravens and the Chiefs are just going to get back into this winning thing. It just don't look like it's going to be that year for Mahomes or Lamar Jackson. It's just not, Sorry, man. But let me just say this. The Rams versus the Lions and then the Rams versus the Seahawks. Oh, my God. They got 4 conference games remaining on their schedule. And 2 of them are divisional, right? The Seahawks and the Cardinals. Some may say the Falcons are kind of divisional too because they're in the old NFC West, so that could be more of a tougher game. But the Lions, look, no, did we forget that the Lions are like on the outside looking in? Like the Lions are 8-5 and they're not in the playoff hunt because of the remaining teams' records, right? So if the Lions take care of the Rams, they kind of bump themselves up a little bit. Now, the Lions want to get into the playoffs. That game is going to be crazy. Like, I'm all excited about watching these other games more than I'm excited about what the Niners are going to be doing over the next few weeks. It was almost like a breath of fresh air not to watch 49ers football this weekend because I really got to tune in to the rest of the teams. So the Lions and then the Seahawks for the Rams. There's a possibility that they go 0-2 over the next 2 weeks. Like literally, because the Lions, I'm telling you, the Lions are going to come out strong. The Rams are going to have to stop this run game. And I still think the Lions offense can put up 40-plus points. I just feel like they can. You just don't know which week they're going to do it, but it's there, right? Like we know it's available for them. Like if Jared Goff is in a rhythm, whoo. And where is that game? Is that a home game? Let me see. Lions versus Rams. Just want to know if that's like a home game. Nope, the Lions would be on the road. Lions would be on the road. But it's 4:25 start for the Lions. So the Lions traveling to the West Coast. So, I mean, favor you go with the Rams. They got the better record. But if the Lions run game travels the way it should, and that defense is still dominant, I mean, that Lions defense is crazy. There's a possibility that could be a bad game for Matt Stafford. And we saw what happened when they got blown out last week, right? So that's that. I don't know, man. I don't know if I want the Seahawks or the Rams to win. I honestly want both of them to lose. But if I had to pick a team, be the Seahawks, even though they have the same record, I just for some reason I would pick them to beat the Rams. So there's a possibility that they go 0-2, and then they get the Falcons, they get the Cardinals, and they kind of get to kind of cruise. Because I mean, the Falcons aren't really playing for anything. I think the Cardinals aren't playing for anything. I think both. I know the Cardinals are eliminated from the playoffs. I'm not sure about the Falcons, but that NFC South is a little. It's a little icky. You know what I'm saying? A little icky. So again, man, the question is the Niners and how far, will they climb in these NFC standings? And you guys could chime in. Like, if you had to say, would you want the Niners? Here's my question, right? On the live show. Would you want the Niners to remain a road team in the playoffs, or do you want them to have home field advantage? That's the question I'm going to ask to you. Put your answers in the chat, and I'll get to some of your questions. And if you guys have questions, feel free to ask. But I love the Niners' chances of finishing strong, and there's a possibility that they could finish with this number 1 seed if they continue to win out. Like, you know what I mean? If they continue to win out. Alejandro, he says, road. Boats, road. Corey, road. Wow. Jax, I'm with you. Road. Wow. I didn't think we had that many road warriors. You know what I mean? They are 6-2 on the road, and they currently have the Colts on the road. That's it. Shoot. Oh, shoot. Wait, what we need to be asking the question is, can the Niners find a way to win at home over the next 4 games? They got 3 games at home. Niners have 3 of their 4 games at home. Big Daddy Niners says home. I like this. Home field advantage for Shea. I like this. Niner faithful. How many home road games the 49ers? They have 3 home games and 1 road game left. They got the Titans at home, Colts on the road, Bears at home, Seahawks at home. I just got to look up their home record one more time. They're 3-2. So I'm going to limb. They're going to beat the Colts, right? They was going to beat the Colts anyway. They're going to beat the Colts, right? It's a road game. That's the Niners. That's what they do. That's kind of what they do. And we 4-1 in the division. My apologies. Not 3-1. But that's what the Niners do, right? They win on the road. But, man, they got the Bears. They fighting to be in the playoffs. Then they got stupid little teams like the Titans. Now, I'm not overlooking the Titans. I don't give what anybody says. I'm not overlooking the Titans. Ronnie says any stadium is a home game. I love it. Home and a bye. Well, if they fit, all right. So now agency 323. Let's have this conversation. Eddie G, what up, baby? Let's have this conversation because now what what my man agency 323 just said is home field and the bye. Now, if the Niners finish with the best record in the NFC, they will get home field advantage and the bye, right? That means the Niners, if they finish with the number 1 seed, because it's either number 1 or wild card, right? It can't be anything else. So it's either 1, 5, or 6, or 7 for the Niners, right? It's 1, 5, 6, or 7, right? Don't Bother Me says 1 is a nice story, but I want roll based on how we played this season. This is my logic as well, right? I think everybody that watches the show understands that, but I would like the rest because that bye can buy a week's worth of time for Fred Warner to potentially return. Eric J. Rody, love the Disneyland or Disney World pick. I'm not sure which one that is. Home field all day. Say it with me. Bang, bang, not a gang. Man, appreciate that, man. Over Facebook. Facebook love. Love the Facebook love. Bruce, more Facebook love. I'll be at the Monday night game at Lucas Oil. Hey, man, when you out there, man, make sure you look up that famous steakhouse they got and go get you some steak and let me know how good it really is. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just curious to know. Let me know how good it really is. But, Beverly, Facebook, we're showing Facebook some love right now. It's Facebook time. I believe the 2025 team is special, but I have to agree with the road. Interesting. It's a tough thing, right? And I know they didn't have Kittle at the beginning of the season. I understand that. Again, they only play 5 games at home so far. They got 3 more remaining. And they're more in full swing. But we just saw a home game with that full team on offense, and it just wasn't dominant. You know what I'm saying? So it's weird. It's just a weird situation to be in for the Niners. I feel like on the road they play different. I don't know. Maybe they feel like their backs are against the wall and it has a deeper meaning. I don't know. Sonya, home games are great because it forces opposing teams to try and go silent. Yeah. You're 100% correct. Like, look, advantages home. Playing at home, that's the advantage. And let me be clear, we have a winning record at home. We're 3-2. That's a winning record, right? And so I'm going to go out on the limb and say the Niners are going to finish with a winning record. They literally can go 6-2 at home. Literally. And what? And 7-2 on the road? Yeah. So it can happen. And then it won't matter, right? Because it will prove. But when you look at what the Niners have done at home so far, it doesn't look as they don't look as confident at home. They don't play as confident at home. You know what I'm saying? They don't play as confident at home. And that's the thing that got me scratching my head just a little bit. Niner Faithful says we didn't have Kittle for most of the home games. Fair, super fair. But we did have him at this most recent home game, and it didn't look good. You know what I'm saying? It didn't look as good. That's just me. Charles over on Facebook. Kyle Shanahan has a historically excellent road record after the bye week with San Francisco 49ers. Love this, man. Can I give you the bell for this? Appreciate this. He says, often cited around 43-18 or 44-19 with a .705 win percentage. So that means he wins 70% of the time after the bye week. I believe this is our first time having the last bye week in the NFL. So I'm curious to see how that pans out. I still think the after the bye record will still be great. I still think the Niners are going to go either 4-0 or 3-1. That's where I'm going with this, 4-0 or 3-1. And I tell you what, I don't think they lose to another NFC team. I'll keep that a buck too. It's these stupid, silly AFC teams, and luckily there's only one more on the road. But when you look at the way that the AFC teams are composed, you're not playing against starting quarterbacks. What's Kyle Shanahan's record against non-starting quarterbacks? I think that is the key. Like, because I feel like that we tee off against those guys. So if you got that stat, put that in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm just curious to see. And look, the more time we get, you'll get more of a more explosive Ricky Pearsall. Expect some of these trick plays. I wonder if Jacob Cowing was going to return. I doubt it because they like what they're getting from Sky Moore, especially on special teams. And I think that's what they were hoping they would get from Jacob Cowing because he was the punt returner at one point. So it's going to be interesting to see, will we get more of some Jordan Watkins? I don't know. Kyle Juszczyk should be back from the rib injury, having the week off. I think defensively they get some of their pass rush back, not the big names, but rotation, right? So, Yetur Gross-Matos had a high pass rush win rate before he was injured. So you're going to get that back, which is going to allow pressure. Man, the Niners have an opportunity to really tee off big time, in my opinion. All right, we got questions. I said, get your questions ready. I'm ready to answer questions. What are your thoughts on BA from Big Daddy Niners? Big Daddy Niners come in, always dropping the bomb damn questions, right? All right, so what are my thoughts on BA? Look, I think Brandon Ayuk is playing a dangerous game. And I don't mean the game of football. I mean the business side of the game of football, right? Because it's two games, right? It's the sport and then it's the business. And they both are games. They literally both are games. The question is, for me, I don't think he's playing. I think he's playing a dangerous game of football. I truly do. I truly do. And as I want him back. I want to see him on this team. I want to see him excel. But you know what? I'm getting this weird vibe from Brandon Ayuk. And this is just my take. It's just my thoughts. So please don't. I ain't saying he said this or anything like this. My take, my thoughts. So if you're going to quote it, quote me, not them. I think Brandon Ayuk checked out after the Super Bowl, y'all. I think he felt some type of way on the non-targets. I think, and I don't know if that's selfish or what, but I do feel like, damn, we've gone and watched the Super Bowl tape, and we saw how wide open he was multiple times. I don't know if Brandon Ayuk likes Brock Purdy anymore. I just think it's a lot going on under the scenes. I'm just speculating. But I think he checked out after the Super Bowl. I know we're pissed off. The majority of the fan base is pissed off because he did what he did to get his bread and whatever. They paid him his bread. And unfortunately, he got injured. So that doesn't help the situation. But it just seems like his actions state he doesn't want to be here. And I also feel, here's my other side of that. I also feel the team tried to trade him several times. I don't know if that will play something in your psyche. I know it would mess with me. I know because I know me. So if I sign my contract and I'm trying to recover from a serious injury and you're trying to trade me, I'm going to feel some type of way. I'm not going to chalk it up to say, oh, that's just business. I'm literally going to feel away. I'm not saying Brandon Ayuk felt away. I'm saying that it feels like he's feeling away. And I think he's feeling several ways. You can call him a diva. You can call him a brat. You can call him whatever you want. That's your prerogative. I just think he's playing a dangerous game from the business side of football. And he's going to have to eventually figure out when he comes to that age of maturity on how he's going to go about his next moves. Now, all that speculation, and I'm just going to chalk it up to say Brandon Ayuk is unhealthy at this moment, and I can't wait to see him get on the football field. They talked about him not meet with team doctors, and all these things came out. Okay. I mean, maybe he didn't want to meet with the team doctors. Maybe he didn't want to comply to that. You know, not everybody does. Everybody wants to go to their own specialist, their own thing, whatever. So I don't know, but I think it's a dangerous game. You know what I mean? And it's unfortunate that it's happening to the Niners again, but y'all should be used to it by now. Like, what like, get over it. Like, at this point, like, this is what happens when Niners wide receivers. You think we're not going to go through the same shit with Ricky Pearsall when it's time for him to get paid? The only thing about him is he hasn't proven he can stay healthy for a whole season. So his situation be a little different. But let him get that one healthy season in, that 1,000-yard wide receiver season in. You know, Brandon Ayuk's coming off of back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. And he got his money at the end of the day. But then he got hurt. So, you know, it sucks. It sucks. Sucks. You know, sucks. I don't know if it's poison. I see the comments out there. For me, I'm with you, Ty. I'm not worried about him because he ain't playing. There's nothing he could do to contribute right now until he's actually healthy. Now, if he got on the football field and he cleared and he was healthy and he was giving that body language and he wasn't performing, now Breezy will come and drop the hammer. But there's no hammer to drop. This cat is literally not able to play right now. And the team didn't bring him back from the PUP-IR designation. That's up to the team. That's not up to Brandon Ayuk. If the team wanted him back, they were clearing the play. Just think about that. Like, think about it. Like, don't always side with everything you're hearing, because everything coming out is literally from the team's perspective. There's always three sides to the story, right? There's the teams, there's the Brandon Ayuk, and then there's the truth somewhere in between all of that. So, got to kind of give him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. We know he wants to play with Jaden Daniels. Like, we know that. Come on. Who doesn't? Jaden Daniels suck right now. He might be retaking that. He's coming off an injury. Some practice, some updates. The 49ers held a bonus practice later this morning after having the 5 days off. So here's some of the players that can possibly return this week. Kicker Eddie Pinheiro. Defensive lineman Yetur Gross-Matos from the hamstring injury. Tatum Bethune, high ankle sprain. And Sam Okuwanu, high ankle sprain. So the Niners will be getting back their, as of recent, starters with Tatum Bethune back at the Mike linebacker, Sam O as one of your defensive ends, and Yetur Gross-Matos as that kind of like piece that moves around on the defensive line. So, getting those guys back and playing a team like the Titans, that could be really good. Because I'm going to be honest, the Niners against the Titans, they're going to have to freaking stop the run. Like at the end of the day, like that's what they're gonna have to do. They're gonna have to stop the freaking run. Ronnie says, Breezy, who targets goes up after the Bew, Rickies or KBs after the bye? Okay, so after the bye, Rickies or KBs? Ricky, because you're trying to feature him, right? You got to look at Kendrick Bourne, man. Listen, Kendrick Bourne is paid to be a serviceable piece. So stop trying to think Kendrick Bourne is going to be paid to be this guy that we want to see. The good news about having a guy like Kendrick Bourne is if a man goes down, he has the capability of taking over a game. And that's great to have. That's great to have. But as of right now, you got to get Ricky Pearsall back involved in this offense. And I'm seeing some stuff on film. I see him creating a separation. I see him down the field. I just don't see him targeted. So that's between Brock and Rick. And so that's kind of like where I am with that, because you still got to feed Kittle. You got to remember, like, Brock is pressured, and when he's pressured, he's looking to move the ball. It's not going to always be pushing it down the field. If Pearsall's routes are down the field and Christian McCaffrey is the check down, he's going to hit the check down. He's going to hit that quick crossing route. And so I don't think you see Bourne and Pearsall on the field at the same time. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like where it is. Eddie G says, I'm worried about what is on the field. I wish he was out there, but it is what it is. Yeah, then we talk about Brandon Ayuk, man. I'm saying here, I'm trying to find Martinez's comment because somebody said facts in the thing. He says, what's the deal with Kendrick Bourne? Is this the one we're talking about? Is he a one game and done kind of player? Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. When you look at Kendrick Bourne, it's the role he plays, right? And so he's Juwan Jennings. It's not a one. It's who's he plays the Juwan Jennings role. So the question is, who do you want on the football field, Juwan Jennings or Kendrick Bourne? If that can make a little bit of sense, then I want to know. All right, I'm going to ask you guys, who do you guys want on the football field, Juwan Jennings or Kendrick Bourne? I know they're all wide receivers, but we're talking about roles, right? I know we're talking. So let me know, right? Let me know. And thank you, Don't Bother Me. I'm going to give you the bell for this one. All right. So what does this say? If the team canceled his guaranteed money back in June and July, right? Because that's when it happened. It just got reported as of recently. I'm trying to get y'all to understand that the shit y'all hear is calculated to a T. You're all complaining about Brandon Ayuk, but this guy's money guarantees were canceled back in June and July. Those are the facts. The team, Kyle even said it. So I don't know how to get less factual than the head coach coming out saying it, right? But he was still at practice. He was still showing up. He was at the meetings. He was still doing things with wide receivers. Y'all don't remember that conversation where Brandon Ayuk might get fined for running routes in practice? Y'all don't remember that? We didn't have that conversation. We didn't talk about that. So, like, yeah, like we could be mad at BA, but at the end of the day, I mean, the team plays a role too. And I just don't understand, like, the team waived his money, and now he probably mad or feeling some type of way, but he showed up. He might not be showing up at this moment, but there were moments where he did show up. So If y'all want to be super detectives and figure out the exact dates on that, don't bother me. Thank you for pointing that out, because I remember that. Because I remember us talking about, oh, this dude about to get fined because he running routes. Right? All right. I went back and looked. I'm in the chat now because I asked y'all a question. You know what I mean? I asked y'all a question. I want to know, if you had to pick between Juwan Jennings and Kendrick Bourne, who are you going to put out there on the football field? Dion, what's going on, baby? And so I'm seeing a lot that, I'm seeing a lot of Jennings. I'm Ty. What's going on, Ty? Jennings, JJ, Jennings for sure. KB was JJ before JJ, and when Jennings was hurt and Kittle and Pearsall were out, KB 8. Yeah, but guess who's not hurt anymore? Jennings, all right? Jennings. What's going on, Razor Ramon? I always want to say that. JJ, Jennings. We need that big body out there. Like, he's blocking better now. I mean, it just seems like Juwan Jennings is healthy. Right? I love that you guys say the name and then you get the context behind it. That's like so freaking cool. Shay says, JJ, but KB's a baller. He is a baller. That's a baller. So this is the difference. Like, this is what I'm trying to say. Wouldn't you rather have a baller in your back pocket? God forbid. You guys don't play Uno or games where you just got that wild card. You know what I'm saying? You try to save your wild cards until the very end, right? That way, if somebody hits you with a draw, you could block it. That's the Kendrick Bourne piece. He's a wild card for the Niners. So the issue is they share this. They play the same role, same exact role. That's the issue. They play the same exact role. So you gotta take you gotta take it for what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. So yeah, I want to be mad at JJ because his first few games were frustrating. But JJ is so physical, you can't ignore that. JJ has had a good rebound from them first couple of games, right? And, you know what I got to do, guys. You know what I love? I believe JJ is leading the team in touchdowns, receiving touchdowns now. He might be tied with Christian McCaffrey, but let me double check. But that's good. It's good to know that Juwan Jennings, we actually have a wide receiver that's catching touchdowns. Like, that's for me, that's great. All right, so Juwan Jennings. Oh, I was wrong. I'm right. It's a three-way tie. Kittle, Jennings, McCaffrey. But I said receiver. Kittle is a tight end, and McCaffrey is a running back. Juwan Jennings, 5 touchdowns. You would never guess who's right below Juwan Jennings. It's literally Jake Tonjes, right, with 4 touchdowns. That is crazy. So looking at the touchdowns, the Niners have 22 touchdowns. And a lot of people say, people are forgetting that Juwan Jennings in the red zone is a threat. He's a problem. I think 3 of his 5 touchdowns are, maybe 4 out of the 5 are red zone touchdowns. I don't know if you want to take that off the football field for a bunch of yards. I love Kendrick Bourne, man. I love what he's done, but he's 0 touchdowns. You're looking at, here you go. George Kittle 5, Juwan Jennings 5, Christian McCaffrey 5. That's 15 touchdowns out of the 22. So where are the other 7? Jake Tonjes has 4, and we haven't seen him play since he caught that last touchdown. I mean, he played in the game last time. He got a snap. Luke Farrell 2. So you mean to tell me the tight ends are leading the tight end? There's more tight end touchdown totality than the wide receivers? That shit don't make no kind of sense, man. Okay, cool. I can live with it. Touchdown's touchdown. And then Kyle Juszczyk got 1. So the running backs have a total of 6. All right. The tight ends have a total of 9, 10, 11. There are 11 touchdowns from the tight ends room. That's a damn good. Give that tight end room a round of applause. And those tight ends ate when George Kittle was out. Something to think about, man. Something to think about. You know what I'm saying? Now, against Breezy, how you feeling about us now having Kendricks? Do you see him taking over that mic duties? Nope. Sure don't. I don't know how I feel about a guy that verbally agreed and then kind of like reneged. I feel some type of way about that. I was happy then, but then he went to the Cowboys. So maybe I'm just bitter. And maybe I'm that guy. So I see him as, if he's healthy and you need him, maybe he's a step up above Curtis Robinson, but you're talking about an older guy, longer in the tooth. If Bethune is healthy, I want Bethune out there. That's where I look at it. You know what I mean? Give me Bethune. So that's a good question, because we got to see if he's even going to be called up from the practice squad. Right. Right. This is where I am with it. This is where I am with it. I'm with it. I'm glad he's a depth piece. And if something was to go down, I still want Curtis Robinson out there. And then if something goes down, then maybe you get you some of this guy. You know what I'm saying? Then maybe, maybe. You know what I'm saying? I know we didn't offer him whatever, but still, he agreed. He agreed to the offer we offered. I guess, man. If you offer me, I don't know. I guess I'm just a loyal dude. Like, there's times where, let's just say, I'll use me for an example, and I'll get offered to do a wedding, right? And I'll get offered a different wedding. I'm going to use it as weddings. I'm not going to change the variable of the wedding, because the weddings always pay more than regular gigs. But one wedding is going to pay me, like, let's say $1,500. But the wedding that I already had accepted before this wedding came in is going to pay me like $900. Now, I know 15 is greater than 9, but I'm the type of person that don't want to burn bridges, and I would be loyal because I was already booked. I would stick with the first deal that I accepted and just eat that cost, like eat that difference. You know what I'm saying? I might go back to that person and be like, hey, man, I got another wedding that's going to offer me more. Can you bump up my money a couple $100 to meet me in the middle? That's the type of person I am. I'm a negotiator, but I don't want to leave that first thing that I signed up for. But that's just me. Call me stupid or whatever. I'm cool with that. I just feel like when it came to Kendricks, like, he agreed to whatever the Niners said. He was verbal, boom, boom, boom. And I get it. He didn't have to do it, but he went to the Cowboys. Out of all the teams, he could have went to any other team. I probably wouldn't have gave 2 flying cares, but he went to the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? He went to the Cowboys. I get you, Breezy, but Greenlaw went to Denver for the same reason. You think I'm happy with Greenlaw? Man, Dre Greenlaw. There, I said it. I don't care why he went. He should have stopped. He should have stayed with the Niners. Luckily, the Denver Broncos are playing good, and I do want to see play. But he was all, yeah. Hey, man, it is what it is. That's how I feel about Dre Greenlaw. If you didn't know, now you know. He an enemy now. The moment you leave out of red and gold, you become an enemy. But I'm happy that he's here. Talk about Kendricks now, and he's gonna have to prove that he belongs here in practice. And if he can do that, man, may the best man start. But if Tatum Bethune is healthy, I trust him more in the run game. It's about run, stopping the run. Like, you got to look at the San Francisco 49ers. Let me just remind you who we got to play one more time before we dip up out of here. You guys are great too. Okay, so first we got the Titans. Now, I know the Titans got Tony Pollard. I'm only focusing on the run game because you got to take away the run every single week. You're playing a rookie quarterback. You want to keep the ball in his hands and take away the run game, right? So it's Tony Pollard and, oh my gosh, who's the other guy? Can't think of his name. But they got that 2 running back system, right? Got to stop it, okay? That's it. And then you got to go to Indy and play Jonathan Taylor with the rookie quarterback. So it sounds like they're going to probably lean on the run. We bet not allow Jonathan Taylor to rebound and have one of those great games he was having this season, because he's been declining a little bit, okay? So JT, that's next. And then you got to play the Chicago Bears. And I don't care what anybody says. It's Ben Johnson calling the plays, and they will, look, the guy that took DeAndre Swift out, cool, maybe he'll do it again. Wasn't it Demo that took Swift out? Good. But I like Kyle Manungai. So they got another dude. That's just 2 more running backs you got to do. And they got a really crafty second-year quarterback. So it makes it a little... And then you got to deal with the bruiser of Zach Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker again? Nah. The Niners got to stop the goddamn run. That's why I need Tatum Bethune on the football field. because I need him laying that snap, crackle, and pop. I need him Rice Krispie treating everybody up on that football field. I expect big hits, knockout hits, and when he hits, he's looking to knock you out as well as rapping and tackling. So that's how I look at that, bro. We got our super chat, first super chat of the show. Ouch, my hamstring. I love when we make fun of the 49ers. I do. I love it. Unless you really do mean your hamstring hurts, but we got mad hamstring injuries. We got two people trying to return from hamstring. We got a kicker looking to come back from a hamstring injury. So, I mean, yeah, he backed out of his contract before the season, but at least he didn't accept and then pull a Campbell. Can I, you know what, man? I'll give you a round of applause. You not even get the bell. You get the standing ovation. Tajay Spears was the guy I couldn't think of. Thank y'all. You're right. But we'll never know if he was going to pull Devondre Campbell. Because the moment Dre Greenlaw returned, guess what Kendricks would have been? On the bench. And so we'll never know. And so we got to remember, like, first of all, Devondre Campbell was trash. I don't remember Kendricks doing anything in Dallas. Do you? He might have made a tackle. He might have one more tackle than Devondre Campbell that year. Right? We would never know. Thank you for the super chat, though. And you were right. Like, at least he didn't do that. And so I'm gonna die on that one. I'm gonna fall back. But I will say, we'll never know. Well, guess what? We might figure it out. We might learn today because he's back on the practice squad for, whatever purposes. And I kind of like, am I the only person that I like that did what Jalen Graham did? Jalen Graham came out, put the green helmet on. It wasn't even his damn helmet. He had to put on Curtis Robinson's helmet. The helmet didn't even fit. He went out there and made a play. It's something about Mike linebackers, right? Like, when you're a Mike and your role is the Mike, typically you play the Mike. It's when the Niners be making you play the weak side and the strong side, and there's just too much stuff you got to do in your brain at the same time. Mike, you just processing, bro. Mike, react. Sorry, Mike is reacting, right? If it's coverage, I'm dropping back. If it's a run, I'm filling the gap. When it's Sam and weak side, damn, it's a lot. It's a lot of thinking. That's what made Dre Greenlaw so good. Greenlaw just couldn't stay healthy. That's what made him so good. I'm going to leave it at that, but thank you for the super chat, though. You know what I'm saying? Ronnie says, who's going to be starting at linebacker? Same starting linebackers we've been having. If Taylor Bethune returns from this high ankle sprain, he'll be the Mike, and you'll have your D. Winters out there. That'll be your two linebackers. I think they're going to end up probably going a lot of more nickel because just looking at the way Tennessee is going to come out, they got some wide receivers, right? Shamir DK is a problem down the football field. We better not get burnt by that cat. I swear to goodness, I'll be pissed. I'll be pissed defensively. Bend don't break is what it is, but hey, man. I'm looking at the game first. Like the Titans. Brock Purdy Stowe says, Kendricks did good on the Cowboys, Breezy. I know for sure he has some picks, maybe a fumble. You're probably right. You know what I'm going to do, bro? You know what? I'll just be talking out my ass sometimes. So I'll tell you what. Let's look up Eric Kendricks. Let's look up his stats. Let's just do it. You're probably right. Well, and this is what I'm here for. So let's go to the Cowboys because he ain't on there now. You know what? Let me get Eric Kendricks stats. Y'all could bear with me while I search this, right? Because you're probably right. He probably did do good. But I wonder if his role was the Mike and not where we were going to play him. That's kind of like where I am. So let's find out. So you go back to that Dallas season, and in Dallas, he played all 15 games, so he was there. He had 2 interceptions that season. He had 3 pass deflections, 3 forced fumbles. Oh, shoot. He had 3 sacks. He had 138 tackles. But he was the Mike. My thing is, he was a Mike. Now, will he be the Mike here? And if so, what will you do with Tatum Bethune? So you're right. I'm wrong. Thank you. I just broke it down. Hey, it is what it is. But he's not there no more. There's a reason. There's a reason why he's not there. It's interesting how he ended up back with the 49ers, too. So you guys are right. The question is, if he's the Mike, I'm good. If he's not the Mike, I'm not good. That's where I am. I stand there on that hill by myself. If he the Mike, we Gucci. That means you're moving somebody else. But if he's not the Mike, he's not going to be, he doesn't have the speed to play the weak side. And if he's the strong side linebacker, okay, because he's a good tackler, you could live with that. But that means he's only going to be used on base down. So what happens when they bring out 3 wide receiver sets? Now he's not on the football field. And then I don't think he's as great as special teams as Luke Gifford. So how does he take that spot? It's literally a tough conversation. Now that I think about it, and Ty, this is where I am. Yo, everybody's a Mike. They're literally converting guys to play the other side. Even D. Winters, Nick Martin, they're all Mike. They all play the Mike. They're small, they're undersized, but you know what they play? The Mike. This is what we have. It's just who we have. Remember that year we had corners and none of them were really slotted to be nickel, but we had to put somebody at the nickel and they struggled? I just feel like that's how we are with the linebackers. They're all Mikes. Ty, that's perfect, man. That is perfect. But at the end of the day, look, I think the Niners, the games that they have slated left on their schedule is favorable for them. And so you can experiment a little bit. And I think having a guy like Kendricks helps you and allows you to do that. The question is, who will he replace? And everybody's going to say Gifford. I just don't see Kendricks playing on special teams. Not in the way Luke Gifford does. So it's the sacrifice, like which one you want to give up. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. You guys have been amazing. Give yourselves a round of applause. I'm going to ask this question one more time before we leave the show. How high will the 49ers climb in the NFC playoff standings? Right now they're 6. Will they finish 6, 5, or number 1? Number 1. You guys have been real. Keep it faithful to the Bay. We out. Peace.
What's up, faithful? Thanks for watching. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And make sure you check out some of the other cool videos.